Has every information about your whole condition in every drop. It's like a holographic image in every drop of you.
It's also highly structured in vortex because your blood is spinning through your blood vessels.
Wow, I never
and
heard
spins into the nephrons and the kidney, and so it's a living liquid, highly structured.
You know, my initial instinct is kind of how I felt about liver. Like I could never believe people
ate liver.
Ate liver
Yeah.
because it was it was a kind of like the
dirty organ
that helped. So I have that's my first reaction with urine too. Is it isn't that kind of isn't the purpose of that is to be eliminated? But you're saying
the parts of our body that need to be would be considered waste or something that is pushed into the feces. The urine is actually the kidney filtration system is so refined.
Okay, good point.
And so incredibly, the filtration devices, we have nothing that can even come close. And so by the time that it does come out through the kidneys, it's mostly water, pure water. Do you know what I actually feel at this point? I would rather take in my urine than water.
Wow.
From many sources, if I had to, because I know that it's gone through such a high filtration process. I trust it. It's got information and whatever I don't need from it. Basically, when we eat, we're taking in, your body can only use at that moment what it needs. And we're eating good things, most of us are trying, right? So all that excess is being filtered out. So you're re-ingesting it and maybe giving your body some sodium and it's salty.
And do you do that regularly or medicinally or?
I'm doing it regularly. I've chosen in the morning. Again, I get up and it's the first pee of the day. Because I'm so in touch with my elimination, the poop goes into a container. I smell it. I look at it. The pee, I'm tasting it. I look at the colors, how it changes. It's very simple for me. I just get up in my position. I have a container. And I pee in it. No, I pee into a glass. What happens is the first couple seconds in the morning, let that go. That's cleaning the canal. And then I do it into a small glass, and then I leave the end. So I'm taking the middle urine. And I might get, I don't use it all, maybe about this much, say in a glass. It's actually a jar. It's just a jar, about this big. So I might fill up that much. And I drink it, and I do a morning bath. All over my skin. I rub it all over my face. So I'm completely naked. Sometimes it's still dark out. Sometimes I get up very early and the stars are out. And when you feel the liquid on you and then the breeze comes, there's a little tingling sensation. And I usually start with the 5 Tibetan rites, so I'm spinning. And getting into my yoga and meditation is a qigong practice that I do every morning. So all that's happening for me at once. So I'm already right from first thing bringing in this divine liquid, back into my body. It's really wonderful. And the skin, how, it really does make the skin soft. They say it's the greatest. If one thing that urine is, it's the greatest skin food of all time. Absolutely, hands down. You can put it on wounds like I know now. It doesn't matter whatever happens to me. I'm carrying my medicine. Some people even carry a vial of aged urine. Aged urine, which it has to have that ammonia smell, is very powerful for healing. And that's why I suggest you read the book. They talk about keeping in vial, dark-colored, containers.
I was going to ask you if they're about the text.
Pardon? Yeah. Now, do you have several?
We have several books.
I love, though, there's a classic for me. It was written in the late 1800s. I think it's called The Water of Life.
Yeah.
You start reading the case studies, how many people were cured in so many amazing sicknesses across the board. It covers everything, and I'm reading this and I'm saying, yes. For me, it was like, wow, what's happened to me here is I've released everything we're told. Your food is your medicine, first of all. This was said for years. But people are eating so poorly that no, it's not medicine, it's actually poison.
Yeah.
Food is poison for most people. But we can come back to food as your medicine. It is. You don't need any medicine. I'm, pain-free, and I've not really had major illnesses. Mid-40s, 44. I feel like aging slows down, And we learn that we're using natural things that I think contribute to life enhancing properties, rather than taking away. So we have everything we need. That's what you keep coming to when you're naked. And I've walked naked to the old structure, naked.
Wow,
barefoot.
it's a long way.
And I'm just along the way. I need super clear vision at that point. We're talking about sun gazing. I ask for crystal clear vision. I don't use corrective vision anymore, but I don't believe we're supposed to have perfect vision all the time. When you're stressed and when you're feeling tired and emotionally something's going on, we often blur on purpose. The reason is to stop taking in so much information and go within. There's work you need to do. Forget about everything out there. Go within. And so we blur up. It's just...
That's what I thought about being in menopause and having the memory kind of start to go. And I mean, we all talk about it. And I had this thought, maybe it's just time to stop gathering information. Because I'm not remembering what I read necessarily, Although here since I've been clearing out and eating just fruits, that's improved. So that's the other side.
Attention span. All of these things. When you talk to people, are you paying attention? I mean, are you ever talking to people and they're checking their incredible. Like we've lost our ability to have true communication, to look into each other's eyes deeply, as we're speaking. Send you a basket of goodies. Sun gazing, it doesn't have to be anything frightening, or it's just something you start doing, 10-second increments each day. And as is comfortable, being barefoot on bare earth. And I'm at a point now where the sun, how to explain this? My sun gazing, sometimes I'm upside down naked in headstand position, looking at the sun.
We were talking about that
upside
yesterday.
down.
You can do that.
The sun finds me. I don't have to do this special sun gazing activity every morning. And I know Brian's doing a beautiful thing where he gets up and stands in the mandala. That's great. We each have our own way. But I'm at a place where any time of the day I might gaze at the sun. The safest hours are, of course, 1 hour from sunrise and 1 hour before sunset. So you need to it's your journey with that. You need to know how much light can you take. And you'll be able to take more and more. It's just like doing yoga. Your body stretches out. I remember when I first was getting into yoga, and I went to a class, and I just couldn't touch, she said, don't worry, it'll happen, over time. She was flexible, and I remember her bending over, and she was saying, you really want to be able to touch, the front of your body.
Down the bottom of those feet.
Yeah. Thank you.
Uh-oh, for the record. Yeah,
barefooting for 5 years, yeah?
What's that?
You've been barefooting for 5 years.
And there's been times I've forgotten my shoes. I left the farm and got in a car and said, wait. I'm just feeling, what happens to me after I wear shoes all day? I feel numb.
Yeah,
something starts to happen.
Feels strange.
I'm missing out on information. So these are our shoes. I'm telling you, we have everything we need. And that's without clothes or shoes. We don't even you don't need to eat as much when you're being stimulated and receiving. If we didn't have clothes on and you're getting sunlight and air and humidity and into you're being fed all day. I'm not eating huge amounts of food. I'm really low fat at this point, and mostly liquid.
Can you let me hold the camera for you?
Thank you, sweetheart.
Yeah. So what I feel like it's happening for me is actually a very slow organic fast. I am fasting, but at a very slow organic rate. So naturally I've moved into a place where I don't want fiber anymore. I'm spitting it out. Everything. I'm juicing everything, but no blenders, no, it's right here. And it's the perfect timing with the saliva, the digestive enzymes, digestion starts here. I chew my food till it is, liquid. The greens, there's some greens down here, not a whole lot again, because don't feel the need to be growing lots of greens, but I chew them and spit. I don't make salads. I go down there and I chew and I just pick a little bit, 5 minutes or so, maybe a piece of the kale or something else here. And I parsley and spit it out, and I'm good. That's my greens. And fruits the same. So it is a form. It could be considered a form of fasting. It really, really slowed down to a place that feels right. So I don't have anything, you know, the body is not being affected adversely in a shocking way. However, if you want to start and you haven't fasted, and this is a great place to do it, and you're feeling that, that's your journey, you're in a safe space and people who've done it and know, by all means, I mean, it can't hurt you. It can only help, you know. I haven't done lots of fasting. I did a 6-day water fast when I first came to Costa Rica. Before I went to look at land, I wanted great clarity, you know. But if I were to fast now, definitely urine, absolutely.
Wow.
I wasn't doing urine at that time, you know. And I feel urine. There's certain things that have come into my life here that I think will be part of my life for the rest of my life, and those are urine therapy, sun gazing, you know, qigong. I'm very much enjoying a qigong practice that I started 2 years ago. That's energy, slow, you know, gentle energy with breath. Yoga has and I do yoga, definitely I'm interested in yoga. Yogas are very strong positions that we hold. The other one is just in constant motion, gentle. And then you get, again, I was telling you, I see things more on an energetic level. You're working with a ball of energy, and moving it, and moving it, you know, and moving it. And I just love it. It's such a great balance to yoga with these strong physical positions, you know, the splits and the headstands and the, you know, and that's all good too. And eventually maybe all of us can come to our own workout. It's our own way. Our bodies are perfect weight. Believe me, we have everything we need. We don't need one piece of exercise equipment. Just sit down on the ground and get up 10 times a day, or get into a squatting position. They say that the elderly in China and Asia and so forth are not suffering from the knee and hip problems that we have because they're using them.
Yeah.
They're still using them, and they're getting in these positions, and they still have a whole. And elimination is so prized in these parts of the world where people don't have cows and things. They'll pay you to come poop. There are homes that will pull you in to use their pooper.
Wow.
Because they need it for, you know, to fertilize. You're trying that?
Yeah.
How that feels.
That's how my partner uses the bathroom. That's how he sits on he puts the lid up, and this is how he sits on it.
So check
So
it
does
out.
Dr. Sam.
When I go to a
Yes,
public toilet, I'll never ever have to touch one of those seats ever on my
Yeah,
butt.
just
I'm
squat.
on it. In fact, if it's a women's, so in the restroom, I'll lift up the top seat. And if I don't, and if I can't, I always clean it. I'll take some toilet paper or whatever, and I clean it, so I don't leave 2 footprints. You know what the funniest thing is sometimes for me? No one knows I'm in a stall. And people start banging the door down, like, wait, you know, because my feet are
Right
up.
there,
So what
right.
I'll do is I'll, like, drop a foot down, just so they can see my toes or something, and then I'll get back up. It's like, no, there's a person in here. It happens to me a lot. You can't tell anyone's in a woman's stall, you know. So they're like, lady, wait, you know, what are you doing in there? You know, they're trying. It can be embarrassing a little, but no, it doesn't matter. And another thing I do, I'll show you. All right.
Here, Anna.
So I'm peeing all the time in nature. This little rag here, by the way, rags, man, I'll just never forget the discussion with my mother around menstruation. I'm like, what did you do? You know, I was thinking about this. I tried the cup, and I think when I was younger, before I transformed, I used tampons, and, you know, Kotex and the pads and so forth. And she said, well, we just used cut up washcloths. Washcloths. So this is actually a little pee rag. What I do is, you know, we naturally have a little bit of a drip after we pee. And I'm not, you know, toilet paper I don't use. It's not sustainable. And if you think about how many years you've been putting bleached paper on your genitals,
Yeah.
think again.
Dioxin's very toxic.
Bleached. We have a paper here that's at least kind of dark brown. It's kind of